Hello, welcome to the first day of 75 Fluent. So this morning I did do my hour of studying, and then I had to run a whole bunch of errands and go to the laundromat and stuff, so it is now 7:30, but I am all showered, ready to just eat dinner and do the rest of my German and such. While I was doing my errands, for the most part, I just listened to my Spanish audiobook. I'm listening to Twilight in Spanish. It's a great time. Right now, I'm getting my last few things in this Cats and Soup event. Very important. But it's going to end in like half an hour, so I have to get my last points in. So I need to read 5 pages. I am going to read aloud for my speaking for 5 minutes today because but I am going to try to write out a response to the question of the day. And then before I go to sleep, I will watch an episode of my show. Right now I'm watching a dubbed show. Well, actually 2. This is what I'm watching. It's not very good so far. It's fine, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But I just needed something engrossing to kind of, I did get today an air conditioning unit thing. So tomorrow I'll have to figure out how to hook that up to vent out the window. We're supposed to get quite a heat wave this week, and we do not have air conditioning. So much as I don't love to spend the money on things, I think it's going to be quite appreciated this week. Yeah. I forgot to read out loud during my 5 pages, so now we're going to read from this children's book that I've had since I was a child. Kleiner Eisbär kommt bald wieder. Am Nordpol gibt es nur Eis und Schnee. Lars, dem kleinen Eisbären, gefiel das. Doch Lars verstand ihn nicht, sein Herz pochte viel zu laut vor Aufregung. Okay, I'll finish it tomorrow. Hi guys. We're in day 3. We're in the heat wave. It's not that bad, to be honest. But I have not missed anything yet. I am gonna go for a walk now. I am gonna listen to some of a Spanish book that I'm kind of like buddy reading with someone on the Discord. I've read it before, but I'm just gonna listen to it's Aura by Carlos Fuentes. So yeah, I'm gonna listen to that. Yesterday I listened to German podcasts. I did this thing where I stockpiled a bunch of podcasts in German and Portuguese on my podcast app. Like, you can set up the stations where it like just automatically puts in new episodes of the podcasts that you select. Unfortunately, a lot of the podcasts that I want to listen to are not active anymore, so those I will probably have to go in and listen to manually. But for the ones that are active, it's a super handy hack to always have something like ready to press play on. So anyway, I'm gonna go for a walk. Hello. So we are on Saturday night. I have done basically nothing for German today. So starting at 9:15, we're gonna get everything done. I did have one day where I missed one thing, but I actually have finished everything most days. Like Thursday, I had my niece's birthday party after work, and so I knew that I would have basically no time to do things for 75 Fluent after work. And so I did manage to get all of the tasks done. Like, I read 5 pages before I started work. On like one break, I did my Anki cards. On my lunch, I think I watched an episode of something, and on my second break, I, did the other things. I can't even remember. Oh, I wrote my question of the day or whatever. I think I like did squats and stuff while I was reading aloud, because I also obviously want to like get up and move around, but also it's been so hot that I haven't been going out to take walks. Anyway, so I did finish all the tasks, but it was like strategic. Like, I knew exactly what I was doing on my breaks. Like, it was very strategic, which is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with doing that. It's just that I have to know ahead of time. But like, that was my craziest day, and I did finish all the tasks. Then Friday, the next day, I wasn't as organized. So even though I had a little bit more free time, theoretically I could have finished everything, but I just kind of completely forgot to write. I think that was what I missed. Yeah, so I think, as I said in my video last week about keeping up with Spanish, I am going to loosen up on the hour of German outside of the other tasks. Like, when I have days with a lot of time, or that I specifically want to invest a lot of time in German, that's great. I honestly can absolutely tell that I'm making progress. Like, I can understand so much more when I listen to podcasts now. It's good. We are moving forward. But I also haven't had time to do like almost anything other than German as a hobby for the past like week and a half. So I want to, like, that's not realistic for me based on my priorities. So we're going to figure out how to balance this better in the next week. But still have another weekend day, so I'm very excited about that. I have some family that's in town that I don't normally get to see. I'm gonna have a little bit more socializing tomorrow, which is great, before everyone leaves. But we'll also have a little bit more time to myself, which is, always good for a Sunday reset before going back to work. So for now, I'm gonna get started on German, 9:15 p.m. Time to get the day started.
Früh am Morgen geht der Fuchs durch den Wald. Hat Hunger und sucht nach etwas zu essen.
Good morning. Just wanted to film this update before things get too busy and loud, because my AC and everything. But as far as 75 Fluent, things have been going well. I think I mentioned that I'm going to kind of adjust how much I'm doing to try to balance other things. But as far as an update on the actual tasks, so in my goals, I said that I wanted to finish the Lingo Deer German, and I'm doing pretty well. I've done basically like a section each day. Like, it's similar to Duolingo, how there's the little circles that have a theme, and then every circle usually has like 2 to 4 lessons. And so I've been trying to do a circle every day, and that should have me finishing it like before the end of July. I don't really like it, to be honest. Like, it's good, I think, and I do want to go back through the notes because it has much better grammar notes. Similar, like, Duolingo used to have those, I think. They don't anymore, and I think Lingo Deer also has more in general. But yeah, I just think, so like all of my immersion and stuff like that is all definitely like quite above my level, and so this is like much more relevant for my production level, I guess. So I'm trying to focus on that aspect of it, the fact that like these are sentences that I could actually put together on my own, but overall it's just not like my preferred format, I think, just because it's really obviously repetitive, which is good. Yeah, I don't know, it's okay. I don't dislike it, but I don't think it's great. I got it like long ago when I thought I was going to learn Korean, and also when it was much cheaper than it is now. And so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it now unless you are planning to definitely use it for many languages and you already know that you like the format and everything. Other than that, I do occasionally do a little bit more in the nature method PDF that I have. There's a guy on YouTube who did the audio for all of them. He's not a native speaker, but it's pretty decent, I guess. And then you can pay for audio. I've still been doing my Anki every day. I haven't missed a day of that yet. And for speaking, I've just been reading aloud. So first I read, as you saw, a children's book that I have, and then since then I've just been reading stories from the Fable Cottage, which I used to have a subscription to, so I have all of the stories from that time downloaded. So I've just been reading those. I have kept up with the writing. I missed one day, but other than that, I've been doing the question of the day, which I really like, and I just don't put pressure on myself to write very much. I write like 2 or 3 sentences, and then I Google translated it back and forth to see if I wrote it in like a relatively decent way and like change some things, and then post it in the Discord. And theoretically, you can get feedback there if someone feels like it. Yeah, and other than that, just immersion and episode wise, I have been watching 2 shows, both of which are dubbed, Arcane and I forget what the other one is called in English, but so yeah, I've just kind of been going back and forth between those, YouTube, podcasts, etc., and it's been good. I definitely can tell that this kind of schedule is really helping my German. Oh, and I'm reading Herr der Liebe in German. I have it in language reactor, which makes it much, much easier to read because you have the English right there to just kind of like flip back and forth. The audio book is on Storytel, but it's slightly abridged. I have noticed that German does that all the time, where a book won't necessarily say like abridged and it's still quite long, like the audiobook is like 9 hours or something like that, but they just take out random stuff like descriptive sentences and stuff like that, which I hate. I really don't like that they do that, but it is what it is. So I just kind of have to notice that that doesn't match and pause the book and read the text and then start the audiobook again. And so it's really annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Obviously, I'm really enjoying the book. I do want to make some time soon to read more of it, because 5 pages of the book is about 2 pages of language reactor, I think. That's from what I could calculate, which really isn't too bad. It only takes me like 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how much I have to pause and look at things. It's very doable on a daily basis, but it also will take me like the whole challenge to read the book if I do that, which is not a problem. If I will be super excited to finish it regardless, but I would like to finish it earlier and just kind of get more momentum in reading it. I think it's hard to get much momentum when you're only reading that much. It's kind of hard to like vlog just because it's not like the quote unquote sexiest routine, but I think it's very effective. I think she did a great job at like picking activities and making it flexible but still super useful. Yeah, so it's going well. So I'm gonna eat my breakfast and sit down for work. Okay, we are mid-week now. It's Wednesday. So last night I went to a neighborhood. So I'm trying to explore more in my own city. Most places I have been before, if not many times, but always good to look around. There's tons of super, super nice houses here. And there's a really cool independent bookstore, but I did not have time to go there. Did a little bit at the library, then just took a really, really long walk. I was listening to German podcasts the whole time. And yeah, it was really, really nice. Absolutely beautiful weather. I saw so many little creatures, including an albino squirrel and a deer with her fawn. So cute. I was living my best life, like dozens of bunnies. It was wonderful. It healed something inside of me after not seeing very many wildlife for years now. But anyway, I did forget to write or speak yesterday. I realized right when I was about to go to sleep, but it was already like 11:30, and so I was like, I could force it and do it now, but I'm just gonna call it a night and get plenty of sleep. But anyway, I did watch over the past 2 days a movie called Transit, and it was the 3rd movie in what's kind of considered a trilogy of this one German director's works, and they were all really great. So yeah, then yeah, here we are. It's Wednesday. I am probably just going to continue on this week trying to keep doing at least the minimum stuff every day. I do want to finish some books this week because I've been dragging out a whole bunch of Spanish and English books for a month now, so I really want to finish some of those. And yeah, get walks in. It's supposed to be fairly nice this week, so yeah, just on my lunch now, so I'm gonna go back to work any second now, I think. And yeah, guys, You're never gonna guess what happened. So, long story short, I wasn't sure whether I had lifetime access to Lingo Deer or not. Turns out I do not, so it just stopped working. I was 40% through the German 2 course. Yeah. So now we will switch to a different resource because, as I mentioned, I don't think Lingo Deer is a bad app by any means, but I'm not going to pay to use it again in order to finish the German course. So I think for now, I'm going to look up some things that I am curious about and just kind of do my own study just for like a couple days. I really want to look up stuff about some separable verbs, some inseparable verbs, some prefixes like that are really common, because that is so common in German. Obviously it's really common in English words and other languages also, but there are so many things that's like ab, auf, aus, ver, ge, be, like all of these prefixes that change the meaning of the word, and I just want to kind of review those. Obviously you still have to learn words in context and learn all of the nuances, but I think learning some of the prefixes, I mean, I know a couple of them, but you know what I mean. I want to learn more about that. I do kind of want to start a big like map of vocabulary with gender. I did download some apps that specifically do gender flashcards, but I think I want to color code them and like map them out by subject. And all of these are probably like words that I know, but I don't necessarily reliably get the gender right, if ever get the gender right. I'm very good at like guessing wrong like every time. Like my gut is not good about this. And then after that, maybe I will find a YouTube playlist or find some other course to work through. So yeah, a little bit of a redirect. Yesterday I did go get 2 coloring books. I have never gotten really into the adult coloring book thing. I did work in a craft store during like the initial surge, so I had one then, but I haven't had any since. I would like to get into doing them while I listen to audiobooks, and just have some like peaceful, quiet time. And if I get in the habit of doing these, maybe it will help me get back into drawing. So anyway, this is the one that I went to the bookstore to look for, Witch Hat Atelier, which is a manga and anime that I really like. I still haven't finished, haven't caught up to the first season, but it's so beautiful. Like that's the primary reason I like the anime. Like it's really endearing and sweet. I'm sure the story will be great. I have read the first manga volume as well. So I'm sure the story will be incredible, but mostly I just love the art. Like it's so pretty. So this one I saw a friend post on Instagram about, and so I was like, I am gonna be in German Village, so I'm gonna see if they have this at the book loft, and they did. And then I couldn't walk away. Literary Cats. This is Edgar Allan Tobin's, Jane Austen, and Franz Kafka. They are so cute. Louisa May Alley Cat. Emily Kittenson. Oh my goodness. So these also seem a lot easier to color, and they're much smaller, much less detailed. So I think I'm going to start with a couple of these. This is very like artistic, and I think very easy to kind of ruin because a lot of them have a ton of white space, so if you kind of get going the wrong direction, it's hard to bring it back. But anyway, so my sister has a whole bunch of colored pencils, so instead of buying some colored pencils, I took a small selection of hers to work with to see if I even want to continue doing this. If I completely fizzle out, I can always give these to my niece. But right now I'm on my lunch. Yesterday, because I did go on that little excursion and the bus took forever to get there to bring me back and everything, I didn't actually finish everything. And I was gonna do Lingo Deer at the bus stop, and that's when I discovered that I didn't have access anymore. So that kind of derailed my studying plans. So yesterday I did miss multiple things. I did a lot of listening to podcasts, so I definitely got my episode in, I definitely got my immersion in, and I did read aloud, I think, on my break, but I didn't write, I didn't read, and I did not study. So, you know, it was my first day where I missed a whole bunch of things, and it was day 12. So I feel like that's pretty good. And I also like filmed a video on my lunch. Like I was just using my time differently yesterday. And that's what I said I wanted to do, that I wanted to just make this work for my life rather than my life around it. So yeah, but today I do want to get everything done. I think there should be no issue with that. It's Friday, thank God. Actually, this week hasn't felt that long, but it has like flown. Like not the work days obviously, but like I feel like I've gotten like 2 things done this entire week. We're gonna finish up the workday, then go for a walk, then have some chill time. Hello. We are now starting the 3rd week of 75 Fluent, so I think I'm going to end this video here and start a new one, because I will be, you know, as I said, kind of shifting gears, finding some new resources. Overall, I'm still really happy with how this is going. I can honestly feel like a ton of improvement. I'm still quite humbled by like native content. Like obviously I watch things on Netflix and YouTube, but those are with subtitles. And so I did listen to a few minutes of a native podcast the other day, and yes, definitely highly humbling. But as far as even like other learner content, as far as recognizing words that I, you know, have mined or have just been seeing repeatedly, really being able to enjoy content that I haven't been able to enjoy before, like we're making strides. So it's very exciting. I'm really enjoying that. And I'm also getting excited about ideas that I have for the next round of 75 Fluent already, because I think probably my idea is that the next round, which would start sometime in late September, I think, I wouldn't do only German. I think I really want to focus on German for this one and get through this like slump, like late beginner slump that I've been in. But hopefully after like 2.5 months of that, I will be able to balance the languages a little bit better. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have been doing 75 Fluent, let me know how this has been going, and I will see you next time.